listening to Break the Silent Struggle with Grief in My Backyard Garden podcast. This is episode 20, Turbulence from Disruption to Direction. We are nearing the close of chapter 1, Change Your Plans. And if you've been on this journey with me, then you know that change doesn't come gently. It comes with movement and sometimes uncertainty, and sometimes even with turbulence. In episode 19, we sat in the stillness of grief and the quiet moments that ask more of us than we feel ready to give. We looked for encouragement. Today, we move. Not because we're ready, but because life reminds us we are still in motion. There's a word I keep turning to and keep returning to. It's turbulence. I wrote in chapter 1 of my backyard garden a memoir. All it took was a little turbulence, and suddenly I was back to my mission at hand. Now, at the time, it wasn't that life-threatening type of airplane turbulence when you grab the arm rest, and try not to grab the person sitting next to you. It was that rock and dip of the plane type of movement, just enough to get your attention and remind you you are not on the ground. And I've been reflecting on that. Why would something slightly unsettling be the very thing that brings me back into focus? Because turbulence doesn't just disrupt us, it redirects us. It interrupts the drifting. It pulls us out of emotional autopilot. It reminds us you are still on a journey. And for those of us walking through grief and loss, turbulence shows up in ways we don't expect. A memory, a date, a scent, a moment. And suddenly, everything shifts. Everything inside of you. But what if turbulence is not only an upset? What if it is also a returning to breath, a returning to awareness, a returning to mission? I have been working on having and interviewing a guest. So instead of interviewing a guest today, and I'm going to do that at some point in the future in season 2, just as I did in season 1, I want to sit with you in this moment and gently ask, what has your turbulence revealed to you? What did it interrupt that needed to be interrupted? What did it bring back into focus? Because sometimes we don't find our way forward in calm moments. We find it when something sort of shakes us up. Something that shakes us up enough to remember who we are. It often means you are being adjusted, realigned, prepared for what comes next. And sometimes all it takes is a little turbulence to remind you you're still meant to fly. One of the things that I'd like to do with you in this podcast is share one of my poems. I'm going to read it to you, and it's from my book, My Backyard Garden, Sage Can Never Age, Spirit-Filled Poems, Rhymes, and Visuals. I don't know if you can see it well or not, but that's sage. There you go. So see it better, given the light. So, in this poem, it's called Air. Walk with me, talk with me, help me feel the air with the love of our Savior spread His grace everywhere. So many are wandering, lost, and confused. Many voices are sharing studies of misquoted news, complicated mysteries, chosen are few. God's message is simple. It's, I love you. God of the universe, the creator of all, is standing and sharing. Why do you run? Why do you fall? From a gift such as this, a divine I love you call. Every breath that you take, deep air in, deep air out. We exist on His love. So please help me shout. What a glorious God. Breathe His love, breathe it in, breathe with me, and breathe it out. Thank you for spending this time with me here in my backyard garden and listening to Break the Silent Struggle with Grief. Episode number 20, Turbulence, From Disruption to Direction. As you leave this space, I invite you to pause and think about, where are you in your journey today? And gently, what has your turbulence been trying to show you? There's no right or wrong answer, only awareness. You may choose to sit with these questions, write your thoughts down, or return to them later. If you'd like a space to reflect, I've created a my backyard garden reflection journal to accompany each episode and chapter. You can download it from mothersbackyard.org. This is Debra Hester, and I remain committed to walking together as we break the silent struggle with grief. Move forward with more empathy than sympathy. And as you experience life's turbulence, allow it to gently guide you back to your mission, allowing space for healing. So, tend your garden with grace, peace, and blessings.